Henry has been cooking up the horse and beef, and also with us is a food critic, Rose Prince. And the first thing to say is actually that getting hold of this was very difficult, because we were able to get in London very easily zebra, insects, all kinds of things that you can eat, apparently. But getting that was tricky. Does that surprise you?
No, not at all, because, I mean, most people, there is this misconception that we shouldn't be eating horse. And I think because the whole pet connotations and companionship that horses give people, and it puts them off. Whereas you go over to the continent, and Italy in particular, who are the largest consumers of horse meat, they don't have quite the same connection, and they appreciate it more for its culinary rather than its companion qualities.
Right, and while you're letting it settle for a second, I'll bring in Rose. I mean, exotic meats provided the horse for us, but it was a bit tricky actually to get it. I suppose what the core of this particular story is about mislabelling, because if you go in to buy beef, you don't want horse in it. That's the point.
Of course, I mean, nobody should adulterate a meat. If it says on the label it's a beef burger, it should be a beef burger. And I mean, this is a terrible story about the meat industry, and I hope that somebody gets to the bottom of it and find out exactly what happened. But the suspicion is now, but it's been going on some time.
Now, you've eaten horse before.
I have eaten horse before. I've eaten horse before only once in the UK, and that was because I went to dinner with somebody in the West Country, and they produced horse. They did warn us, actually, but they claimed that they'd been buying it regularly from a market stall holder on a street market who used to keep it under the counter.
Why?
Because
it's
I think
not illegal. I mean,
for the very reasons Henry's just given, but people do find it unacceptable. I mean, I think this is very interesting because the taboos given so well in your piece there, and also what Henry's just said, are absolutely true. But I think there's also the fact that we are very spoilt. You know, we can pretty much choose what we want to eat. When you look back to wartime, you look back to the time when apparently the French started to eat horse, when the revolution happened, and they ate the aristocrats' horses first.
Did they?
But the story goes. But, you know, they ate it out of need, and it is one of those meats that sort of falls into that category sometimes.
But isn't it, I mean, it had supposedly health-giving properties. I mean, it's supposed to be quite low in fat, for example.
I mean, dismissing it is in conflict with the fact that we're always looking for healthy meats these days. I mean, the horse meat has very little fat in it, as you can see just by looking at it.
I don't know whether you want to have a try. I'm going to have a go.
I don't know if my family would forgive me if I did that.
I've forgotten which one is which.
The darker red one is the horse
okay,
meat.
right. Yeah. Well, I'll have a go.
I mean, that's a very interesting thing, is looking at, I mean, how this got into burgers, is it would actually improve the appearance of a burger. Adding it to the meat, you would certainly make it look leaner. You'd look like you're getting more and less sort of fatty mince.
It's excellent. It tastes like the best steak.